Hello everyone, this is Colin here, and today we're going to change the fuel pump on this 1985 Honda Magna VF700c. To do this job, you're going to need a few things. You will need a replacement fuel pump, and some of, pretty much all the rest of this is going to depend on how complicated your install ends up being. And mine was about as complicated as it gets, so this is the full Monty. Hose cutters, if you need to cut some fresh gas line to replace some lines, which I did. The full suite of electrical tools if you have that silly 4-wire pump and no paperwork on your replacement pump. So an electrical meter, soldering iron, solder, heat shrink tubing, heat gun for the heat shrink tubing. Scissors was useful for cutting open the sheathing there. On the hoses side, pliers are useful, electrical cutters and crimps, because you do have to remove the plug from there and wire it up to the new one. Pliers for taking off hose clamps, a Phillips head, or rather the Japanese version of the Phillips head screwdriver, and then a flat blade for the hose clamps. You will also need a ratchet with a 10mm socket on it. The fuel pump is located under the left-hand side cover here, which is held in with those push pins and rubber grommets. It also helps with clearances and such to go ahead and remove the seat, as this will give you a little bit more space to maneuver. Next, you'll want to remove these 3 10mm bolts. There is also, or should be also, a Phillips head, or the Japanese equivalent, screw here that holds the fuel filter in place with the clamp, but this one is missing that particular part. Well, as usual with Japanese motorcycles from the 80s, wiring is going to make things exciting. Our new fuel pump, as you can see here, has 2 wires. A hot side and a ground side. Very straightforward, it's just a motor with an impeller on the end of it. However, our original fuel pump has 4 wires, and it's not supposed to. So I looked through all of the Honda Magna wiring diagrams, and I found only one that has more than 2 wires, and that is for a 1986. And of course, par for the course, those 4 wires are not the same colors. On that wiring diagram, there is an orange, which is a hot wire that gets power from the run switch on the handlebars, or on the key cylinder, which is probably the one we want to power our fuel pump from, because that would basically be on all the time, and it would help, help prime before you actually start the engine. There is a green, which is ground. That's probably this guy here. There's a blue and yellow. That's a blank. I'm thinking the blue is actually a gray, because that's probably this one here. So that probably goes nowhere. And then there's a blue wire, which is probably this one, which comes from the ignition. I think the idea there was, if for whatever reason the running wire from the key cylinder failed, you would have a backup power supply coming from the ignition. So basically, when you're starting, when you're starting up, that would definitely get it going. But so my line of thinking here is this black is what was listed in the manual as orange, because in the manual, in the wiring diagram, it has the black going, or the orange going to a black, so I'm guessing they just went black the whole way. So this black wire is probably going to be my hot, the green is my ground, and these 2 we're just going to cut off and put a piece of heat shrink on, because they're not going to be relevant, hopefully. But before we do that, we're going to test it. I'm going to cut all these wires. I'm going to use my little meter here and see if I do in fact get 0 ohms on the green to ground. See if when I turn the key to on, I get 12 volts on this one. And as long as I've got those 2, I don't really care about the rest. So So yep, that's our ground for sure. So now we're going to check this. No voltage there. Let's go turn the key on. And that's 11.5. So I'll go ahead and say that is running what we want it to do. Next, I'm going to undo these two hose clamps and remove these two fuel lines from the original fuel pump. We're going to start adding some bullet connectors to these so we can easily add and remove fuel pumps in the future if needed. And as usual, I'm going to do this properly. I'm not just going to crimp the bullet connectors on, I'm going to solder them in place afterwards for extra durability. We will do a male bullet connector on the bike's ground side, because that way when unplugging a fuel pump, if you drop it, nothing bad happens, as opposed to the hot, if it hit the frame, something bad in the fuse box could certainly occur. And we'll do the female, which is covered on the hot side on the bike, and vice versa on the fuel pump. Okay, so I took the liberty of replacing a couple of these fuel lines while I was here, but otherwise we are now ready to install our new fuel pump. I also moved this this housing here, this rubber mount from the old one to the new one. But otherwise, this is now a straightforward rehooking up the hoses and clamping things down. All right, now that we've got all our hoses hooked up, we can go ahead and hook up our pump connection. So just like we've set up in our wiring here, our green ground here is going to tie into our black and white with this new bullet connector that we just made. And then our black hot wire is going to tie into the black hot wire here. And so this pump should be good to go now. And of course, the black and yellow and the blue wire, we've just put some heat shrink on so they are not at risk of grounding out on anything. And so we'll just tuck all these into the, clip here and fold it down so those wires don't go anywhere. Then we'll go and bolt everything back up again. Now that we've got our fuel pump and everything back together, we can put the seat back on.